woke with a yawn and got up and out of my unmade bed. I gave a big stretch. I started to make my messy and unmade bed. I uncreased my sheets and I walked like a zombie to my brown wooden wardrobe. I began to search through my massive wardrobe. I finally settled on a blue and white lace dress. I ran downstairs. I grabbed a piece of toast off the table. It was burnt. Of course it was. My mum could burn water. Mother told me to go wash my face before leaving. As I urgently ran to the bathroom, I dropped crumbs of burnt toast on the ground. I threw water on my face and reached for a hand towel to wipe my face with. As I removed the towel, I looked up to see a young 15-year-old girl. Long ash blonde hair, short, bluish-greeny eyes, and a smile that always glowing. That's me, Hope Ferelden. I was once told that my smile made the world go round, which made me smile even more. Walking to the front door, I'm grabbed by cold and large hands. They reach for my face, and a pair of lips kiss my forehead. It was my mum asking if I wanted a ride to school, but of course I said no. Why would I want to be seen with my mother? At school, things are already bad enough. Walking out the big red front door, I heard a bus roll up to the curb with a deafening horn. I walked so slow to tick the overweighted, short-tempered driver off. It wasn't hard. I had always sat second seat from the front because the back was for the kids who had friends, or also known as the cool kids. That wasn't me. When the bus came to a stop, I was pushed and shoved. I was always last. People always ran as if it was a race, but not me, slow and steady. Walked around everyone. At the back of the room was a seat for a lonely kid. That was me. I stuck my earphones in but was soon rudely interrupted by a girl. FYI, she's a bully who doesn't deserve a name in this story, because this is all about me. So she walked up to me, gave me a glare, and picked up my bag. She then threw it away. I ran to the front of the classroom to pick up my bag. I tried to escape from her. Didn't get away easy, but I don't want to mention it. I can tell you she really doesn't listen to me. The day went by fast, not that I'm complaining, but I knew I would be questioned about my swollen purple bruised eye by my parents. And yes, sure enough I was. I was asked millions of questions, and when it ended, they had a big argument. Whilst they were arguing, I crept to the top of the long wooden staircase. I could hear them talking loudly and aggressively. You're never helping me. You never give her the attention she deserves. Come on, she's 15. What is going on in that brainless head of yours? Mum shouted furiously at Dad. I do. You don't help me or back me up, Dad said, sounding hurt. You and I don't get along well enough to raise a 15-year-old girl. I think we need a split. Oh, yeah, and I'm taking full custody, Mum said, sobbing. Of course you would take full custody. That's just you. Selfish. Yeah, fine, you can have her, Dad muttered. Mum had come upstairs to tell me that they were getting a split. Well, of course I already knew, but I couldn't let her know that. Mum said to me, it's your dad's fault we are getting a split. I disagreed. I thought it was only fair if you shared the guilt of the split. Of course I was devastated. I was so devastated I packed my bags and I was ready to leave. I cried and cried for hours on end. The house must have flooded, I thought in my mind. Did I cry that much? I really didn't want my life like this, but now I really didn't know what I wanted anymore. I jumped out the window and I didn't even look back. Had I made the right choice? Well, that I didn't know. I could say I had slept in worse places, but that would be a lie. It was my fault. I'd chosen to leave, so I had to suck it up. Although I had no money, I still managed to survive with 1 bar of chocolate. But everyone knows that's not enough for a 15-year-old girl. My parents looked everywhere for me, but were still unable to find me. After a couple of days, I had left town and found a church I had first seen on the edge of town. Opening the doors were harder than it looked. I walked in and looked around. I found myself on the church floor. I bent down on my knees and I started to pray. I had never prayed or ever been in a church, really. Looking up to the ceiling, I started to pray. Dear God, if you hear God, please don't make my parents split up. I just know they're right for each other. They're the perfect match. I guess it worked because at that moment they ran in together. Yeah, that's right, together. I was hugged really hard. I didn't even bother with a hello. I got straight to the point. Why are you being split? But they laughed at me. It didn't make sense. Why would they do that? We're getting married, silly, Mum said, half giggling and kissing Dad. I walked straight out to the car. Not a single word came out of my mouth. I wanted my old life back. This isn't what I wanted. I was told, let it go. Then I was told, wait till I get home. Then, don't ruin the moment. Now I was angry. Mum tried to change the subject and asked if I had missed them. But I let it go and I screamed no, right in their faces. Well, as soon as I got home, I slammed my bedroom door. I really wanted it to come off the hinges, but I didn't slam it hard enough. She's 15. What are we doing? Are we doing things well? Mum said, crying to Dad. Come on, it's not us, it's her. You know it is. She's deciding to do it. I know you do everything in your power. Mum stopped him in mid-sentence. It's our power. Get it right. Dad nodded. Mum and Dad entered my room. Are you okay? Mum sat on my bed, comforting me, holding my hand, telling me everything's going to be okay. My mood completely changed. Well, aren't you as blind as a bat? I hated seeing them like this, upset and angry, and I also hated treating them like this. But I needed the message to get through. It was important. I didn't want it like this. I didn't want my life like this. The message got through well enough to Mum and Dad to make them stop the marriage. They both agreed that rushing into a marriage was not the right choice. Everything went back to normal and we lived happy ever after. Well, not really, but happy enough to end the story.